morning, guys. So good morning again. I know this has not been an easy stretch of time for people in Seattle. It is officially the snowiest month in 50 years. We've had 20 inches of snow officially, and we're only 13 days into February. We continue to have challenges. We know that we've got to clear streets and sidewalks from ice, slush, and snow. You'll hear today from how we're doing on our roads and our cooperation with Seattle Public Schools and City Light, trash pickup and other solid waste pickup, and how the utilities are doing, Parks and Recreation. You'll have the range. I know that there are many parents and even some kids who are disappointed that Seattle Public Schools did not hold classes today. Almost all of the major school districts in the region did decide to cancel schools. We have been communicating with Seattle Public Schools and stand ready to do whatever we can do to help them open the schools. Obviously, the city does not make the decision on whether to open schools or not, and the school board, together with the school superintendent, weigh a number of factors. But we've been working carefully and closely with them throughout this event, and particularly in the last 24 hours, to make sure that we know exactly what their plan is to open schools and how we can do that. And Sam's going to talk to you a little more about that. We also are happy to say that we've been working with Metro as well on what routes they can use, and they will be going to more bus service tomorrow, which is good news for a lot of people, including the schools, because we know that many school kids get to school by Metro and they have their ORCA passes. The free ORCA will help those families and those kids get to school. So we're happy for that. Metro, will give you more information, but we're glad there's going to be more bus service. We are trying to communicate to people every day on all the channels. We received a number of calls from people to our call center. I'll apologize up front that we had a big rush of people, and so some of the hold times were longer than they've been, where we're going to reduce that. Part of that was because a number of the staff themselves could not get in. We've brought that number down, and you'll hear from Mami. We're really trying to respond as we can, not just to all the things we're seeing citywide, but to individual questions and issues that people have. We are still having our road crews out to clear not just our main arterials, but the Bobcats to start working on side roads and all the sidewalks around the public places. Bad news is that it's supposed to freeze hard tonight. So as we'll be talking about later, it's really important for people to, if you are home with the kids and the kids are old enough, get them out with you shoveling the sidewalks. And it'd be a great time for neighbors and neighborhoods, if you're home in the neighborhood, to get together, get those shovels and get them cleared, because after the hard freeze tonight, it'll be much harder to clear those sidewalks, and the freezing ice will be a much more difficult condition. So we'll give you a full report on what we're doing with the schools. But I really want to say kind of a clarion call to the public. If you're home and if you're home from school and you're old enough, how about around noon today, everybody get out in their neighborhood with the shovels they have, or borrow the shovels from the neighborhood, and let's do everything we can to clear the sidewalks in all our neighborhoods and communities. That's going to help us not just today and not just help get the kids back in school. It will really make it safer for tomorrow when we get another hard freeze tonight. Our goal in the city remains the same: safety. Safety across the board for our employees, but also for every member of the public. We want to make sure that it is really as safe as possible on all our arterials. We want to make sure that fire and police can get to where they need to get. Our road crews are continuing to do 12-hour shifts. And City Light, they are working hard around the clock. Couple of cautions. We've seen roofs with the melting snow, that a number of roofs are failing around the region, not just in Seattle, particularly carports and the like. Make sure that the best thing to do is not get up on that ladder and try to clear the snow off the roof. Chances are that will lead to injury and you won't be able to prevent the weight. The best thing to do is to keep those drains clean so that as the snow melts, it can actually get off the roof. I've had my fire chief here tell me over and over again not to encourage people to get on ladders, and I'm following his direction. We have, during this series of storms, we have opened up 550 emergency shelter beds. And the navigation team has brought in over 150 people from outside inside. I was able to go to both the Garfield Community Center a few days ago and this morning went to Bitter Lake. I will tell you that this has been a change for those people. They are able to get hot meals, clean clothes, showers, and even today you had a Park Service employee who was giving haircuts. And people are very appreciative of it. I want to thank all the members of the community who have stepped up and volunteered in small ways and big ways. When I was at Bitter Lake today, there was a teacher from the area who, when school was canceled, she walked to the Bitter Lake Community Center so she could volunteer to help. And it's that kind of thing that has really made the difference. You know, we said yesterday, Starbucks, Amazon, Nordstrom's, Costco, they provided, you know, clean clothes, socks, and the like. Last night, Tom Douglas and Tom Douglas Restaurants prepared 250 meals for the people who were in the emergency shelter at the Seattle Center. The kindness and commitment and the generosity that the people of Seattle have been showing through this period of time, I think shows the best of Seattle and shows what we can do as a community when we come together to help each other to get through these hard things. I know it's difficult. We're not through it 100% yet. For those people who are in the neighborhoods where it's clear, you wonder why the mayor's up here talking. For those people who are in neighborhoods where it's not, you know why she is. We are going to continue to work to make sure that everybody has what they need from their city government. And we're already planning for the next phases. We don't know what the weather events will be, but we know what the continued snow, freezing, thaw, and plows do to our roads. So you'll see in the next weeks that there'll be potholes that open up or appear again, and that's going to be the next step for our road crews to provide things like that. But right now, you'll hear from the people looking at what we're doing across the city to get through these events. Again, I think the most important thing for me as mayor, I have to just say I have enormous gratitude to the city employees who have been working around the clock in their jobs, many of them even after their jobs volunteering to help people, as well as to the people across this city who have stepped up to help their neighbors, to help their communities, and to help people get through this period of time. And with that, Calvin.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Calvin Goings. I'm the Director of Finance and Administrative Services for the City of Seattle. And I want to talk to you just briefly this morning about Operation Shared Shovel, a Marshall Plan to get all of our kids, like my 14-year-old, back to school. So at the request of the Seattle Public Schools, SPS, we are implementing an unprecedented three-pronged approach to support Seattle Public Schools' safe opening for schools tomorrow on Thursday. Now, it's important to note, as the mayor said, that the Seattle Public Schools use multiple criteria when determining whether to open their schools, whether it's access to metro, school staffing, etc. But we at the City of Seattle want to do our part to make sure they have the tools and resources they need to successfully and safely open tomorrow. So this unprecedented, collaborative, cross-jurisdictional operation will be about making routes to school safe. So the first part of this three-pronged approach is that the Seattle Public Schools is working to shovel the sidewalks adjacent to their elementary schools in particular. Second, and this is what the mayor said, this is an opportunity for parents and kids and nonprofits, P-Patch organizations, block watch groups, emergency hub organizations, churches, the nonprofit community to come together. We are asking that, as the mayor said at noon today, that residents of the City of Seattle join us in shoveling the sidewalks around their neighborhood schools. And the hashtag is Shared Shovel. So today is your opportunity. Burn some of that extra energy off. Come out safe. Clear the drains while you're doing it, but this is an opportunity to put our kids to work and get our community back moving again by putting our kids back in school again. And third, as you'll hear just shortly from the Director of Seattle Department of Transportation, SDOT crews will be addressing 9 priority elementary schools as requested from Seattle Public Schools to access roads from our Emerald and Gold routes to the local neighborhood schools. And additionally, SDOT hand crews supported by teams from public utilities, FAS, and Parks and Recreation will be supplementing those hand crews as well. So again, I just want to reiterate the mayor's point. This is an opportunity, a Marshall Plan, if you will, to get our schools back open again. And we're going to do our small part here at the City of Seattle by mobilizing our resources to do just that. Thank you, Mayor.
Sam Zimbabwe with Seattle Department of Transportation. So as Calvin just mentioned, we are deploying some of our hand crews to highlight the areas going out from schools into neighborhoods. The more the communities can help us by shoveling their own sidewalks, the more we'll be able to help as well. In addition to that, with the coming freeze, the weather has cooperated a little bit more over the last couple of days and helped us stay ahead of things. The coming freeze means that we will still be out applying salt to the arterial streets if they're not in a bare and dry condition, so that we don't get another freeze and create problems tomorrow. We're working to make sure that Metro can operate at full capacity as they're able to, as well as Seattle Public Schools. We want to make sure that folks continue to stay safe. The variable conditions, we know that while the arterials are pretty good, a lot of the residential streets are still in very variable condition, and you're seeing a lot of different types of conditions out there. We're working to reopen the closed streets and inspect those and try to get a sense of conditions and know that we're trying to address as many hazardous locations as possible, those places that are on steep slopes or where there was heavier snowfall than in other places. Please don't remove those signs yourselves. Let us remove them. Please continue to shovel sidewalks and continue to be careful about downed trees. We've been responding to a number of more downed tree responses as well over the last couple of days. So please continue to stay safe out there, folks.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Debra Smith with Seattle City Light. It's nice to see everyone again today. So much better day for us this morning than yesterday. I will note by starting that our outage map is running a bit slow, and we're working with the vendor on that. So if you're looking online, you're actually seeing a higher number of customers without power than we currently have, which is actually only like 25 people. So we have been successful in bringing back just about everyone. And those folks that are still out should be restored by the end of today. We do have about 300 jobs that are open, and what that means is that there are wires that are either sagging or they're down. They're usually communications wires at this point because we're pretty clear on where we have had power outages. But the public should still be very careful and assume that those wires are live and energized and dangerous. And so in this case, we actually send someone out to patrol each of those locations, and then they assess the damage and the priority for restoration, and that work will continue through tomorrow. I wanted to just take a moment to thank our customers, first of all. We kind of the big outage came at the end of this event, where customers, in many cases, their nerves were already a bit frayed, and they were super patient, super gracious with us and our crews, and we really, really appreciate it. The contact center, and Mami will talk about that, Mayor mentioned it, those are folks that take your calls when there's an outage, and they have been working incredibly hard because they take the same calls for trash, for water, for electricity. So those folks have done a great job. Thank you for that. The city employees and SDOT, I would say, does everyone know that Sam has only been here? Is this his second week?
Yeah.
Second week. So he's done an amazing job, and without his hard work and the hard work of SDOT, City Light would not be able to do theirs. So many thanks there. And lastly, my crews are awesome, and the support staff who allow them to do work, and the customer-facing people. So many, many thanks to many people, and I appreciate being part of this team. Thank you, Mayor. That's great.
Good morning. My name is Tiffany Washington. I'm the Deputy Director of Homelessness in the Human Services Department. And this morning and last night and throughout this whole event, our priority remains getting people experiencing homelessness indoors and helping them with medical and service needs. As the mayor mentioned earlier, we've opened more than 550 beds for emergency shelter. And we have a whole list of community providers and agencies that we want to thank. We'd be remiss if we didn't thank, and that includes the Salvation Army. We want to thank Tom Douglas, who donated the 250 hot meals for shelter stayers last night, Union Gospel Mission for transporting people from outside to the various shelters, Mary's Place, Lehigh, Urban League, Park staff, Seattle Public Utilities, Seattle Center, and King County. And those are just a few of the many, many people who have stepped up to help during this time. One of the things that we're proud of is that we brought in, as the mayor said, over 150 people from outside inside. What we're doing now that we have folks inside shelter is we're assessing them for for services beyond the shelter. And so far, 3 people have reconnected with family and have a safe place to stay tonight and moving forward. And so there will be teams of outreach workers and staff in the severe weather shelters assessing people, trying to provide diversion, anything they can to ensure that folks who many haven't come inside for a long time don't have to go back outside. Additionally, we have more than 30 homeless service providers who join coordination calls every morning to organize and dispatch resources to people in the emergency shelters. And I also want to add that there are about 12,000 people in King County who the department coordinates care for each month, and they have age and or disabilities. The Human Services Department staff have been calling and checking on more than 700 critical care patients who rely on this daily aid for their food, medication, oxygen, and daily life support. So again, thank you for your patience, and thank you to all of my colleagues. And hopefully the kids will be in school tomorrow. I have a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I would like for them to be gone for 8 hours. So thank you.
Good morning. Mami, Hara, Seattle Public Utilities. The melting snow and ice is a beautiful sight for our utility because conditions are finally allowing our crews to get to most of our Monday and Tuesday residential customers today. Our contractors will focus on collecting delayed garbage, and I'm stressed on the word garbage, from Monday and Tuesday households today. With significant slush remaining on many residential streets and steep hills, trucks will be equipped with chains and carry additional staff to respond to the mixed conditions. However, some hilly streets may be too icy for the drivers to navigate, so we may not be able to reach all of our Monday and Tuesday customers, and we thank them for understanding that safety remains a top priority for everyone. Contractors today will also attempt to collect some of the delayed Monday recycling from Ballard, Finney, and West Seattle areas. Monday recycling from Magnolia and University District, Laurelhurst, will be collected next Monday. All recycling from Tuesday areas and all yard and food waste from Monday and Tuesday areas will be delayed to next week as contractors focus on collecting garbage today. I apologize for the complexity of this schedule, and we're happy to provide more information on that. We ask customers to help make their garbage accessible for crews by clearing snow and ice off their carts and by moving them to the curb. If conditions remain safe, contractors will collect all garbage, recycling, and food and yard waste from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday areas on a 1-day delay. Starting next week, we should be back to a regular schedule. Contractors were able to collect many commercial and multifamily services the past 2 days despite very challenging conditions. Today, they will expand recovery efforts for those accounts. Additionally, the city is providing free visits to transfer stations starting today through Saturday, February 16th, for customers whose services were interrupted for more than a week. Stations will be open from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. today and 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. So we'll have some extended hours so that people who are working can still get their additional garbage, recycling, and food and yard waste to the transfer stations. Seattle customers who can safely bring their waste to our north and south transfer stations are asked to separate the materials and cover the load. There's a limit of 1 truck or car load per household up to 420 pounds of combined garbage, recycling, and compost. That's a lot, but hoping you don't bring that much. We will continue to keep customers apprised of service charges and station access through Alert Seattle, Twitter, at Seattle SPU, and on our website. We acknowledge that it has been very frustrating when your recycling and food and yard waste, and especially your garbage, isn't picked up. So we really appreciate Seattle residents for their understanding as we've waited for a safe collection window, and we are eager to get to work on collecting all of your waste. As snow, and this is on a different topic, as snow and ice slowly melt, flooding becomes a concern as iced over storm drains prevent melted snow and rain from entering the drainage system. We have tens of thousands of drains in our city, and we are asking folks, if you're able, and if you're able to safely do it, to prevent localized flooding in your neighborhood by clearing the drain inlets near your home with a snow shovel. And if you don't have a snow shovel, a regular garden shovel, even even a dustbin will work, or dustpan. Please remember to work from the sidewalk or parking strip and stay out of the street when clearing the drains. I'd like to thank, as Debra mentioned, our incredible staff in all of our lines of business, including our contact center. Our crew's been working around the clock, and we appreciate their family's support as they've been going through this hard time.
I'm Christopher Williams, Seattle Parks and Recreation. I want to give another shout to the mayor. She mentioned earlier that she had gone out and visited staff at Garfield and Bitter Lake Community Center, where we are operating shelters. We have some employees who have been working 12-hour shifts since last Friday, and it is such a morale lift to see the leader come by and express her appreciation for that. So thank you, Mayor. We have 26 out of 27 community centers operating across the city. We have 6 out of 9 public swimming pools available. And again, these are opportunities to relieve cabin fever.
After they shovel.
After they shovel. A lot of the community center parking lots and walkways have already been shoveled, so I hope that makes it easier. Our maintenance crews continue to provide logistic support across the city. We are committed to working across department lines with our city partners and doing ad hoc deliveries or picking up supplies that just reinforce the city's effort to deal with the snow emergency. We continue to clean storm drains at 486 park locations across the city. This will be imperative as the snow begins to melt. We are resupplying shelters with food and all of the critical supplies that people need to be safe and warm. Individual volunteers and local businesses have dropped off everything from clothing to food and supplies, and we greatly appreciate that. We currently have 30 to 40 employees on standby, 30 to 40 maintenance employees who showed up to work on standby who can help assist cleaning up adjacent areas to various schools across the city. So we're your local Park and Recreation Department. I want to thank our employees and use us. We're here. Thank you.
Hello, Andres Mantilla from the Department of Neighborhoods. First of all, I want to just thank all of our neighbors and neighborhoods communities for chipping in, sharing a shovel, clearing their sidewalk, clearing their neighbor's sidewalk. I urge you to continue to check in on elderly neighbors, those that might need additional help. And just to reiterate, the Operation Shared Shovel, calling on all parent groups, community groups, neighborhood groups. We're going to activate our over 90 P-Patch site coordinators to help start clearing the sidewalks in a collective Seattle effort to make our neighborhoods more accessible and safer. Thank you for continuing to look out for each other, for chipping in, and together we can do this.
You? Scoggins, you're up. Chief.
Am I the closer? All right.
You're the closer, man. Well, you were on this one. You are now.
All right. Well, just a couple of reminders. The reason why that our call volumes have continued to fall is because the community has listened. So please continue to listen to all the messages that you heard today. Help us clear the roads, the sidewalks, the streets, just to make it safer. And to touch on the point that the mayor spoke to earlier, a lot of snow is starting to melt off those roof lines, and it may seem like it's really easy to just go up there and knock it down. Please don't do that. Just let it melt and let it fall. We do not want to be responding to those type of injuries when we don't have to. So thanks for paying attention. And as I said yesterday, situational awareness, that's what this is really all about. Let's just maintain that for safety. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Take a couple questions. Couple other things I wanted to note is, again, through this difficult time, I think that people can be proud that as a community, how much people have stepped up from local neighborhoods, to Tom Douglas providing hundreds of meals, to the teacher who walks to Bitter Lake. And there was one media story, for example, about a couple who had come to the shelter down at Garfield, and because of the story and because of them finally coming inside, they've been reunited with family. And so I think that even through these tough times, we see great glimmers of hope, and we want to make sure as a city that we capitalize on that hope and keep those things going. Just like we saw people during the viaduct closure taking alternate means of travel, we want to keep people on transit, keep people biking and walking, those good habits. We've now brought hundreds of people inside who had not been inside before, and the Human Services Department is working around the clock to connect those people with services, with providers, to evaluate them so that we can get them what they need. I talked to one gentleman this morning who said it was the first time that he had felt he had been warm and fed in almost 3 years because he's been living outside. And you could tell for him that if there was a way to continue this, he would. And so we as a city want to make sure that we're coming together to do that. And little things, we have Monday pickup. If your garbage has now been missed 2 weeks in a row, Mami said we're going to pick it up. Just one tip to people from driving around different parts of the city and being out and about. When you put your extra garbage out, it's free, you can, but please bag it up well. The scavengers have been wintering too. But they're back and they're hungry. So we've seen, whether it's crows or rodents, they're going to be trying to get to that garbage, and we want to make sure things are bagged because it'll keep community neighborhoods safer and better. With that, if there's any questions?
Mayor, you alluded to this effort to clear the sidewalks for the Seattle School District. I realize that, again, they're not here, but was that the reason why they canceled school today, was because the sidewalks were still filled with slush and ice?
So I think the decision on whether to cancel school has a number of complex factors that the school board and the superintendent weigh. I think the conditions around a school are just one of them. To be clear, the sidewalks around the school, since they're adjacent property owners, they are responsible and they're undertaking to do that themselves. We're making sure they gave us the list of the priority schools themselves where they wanted us to clear in a 3-block radius now. So we're doing that around those schools and continuing to talk with them to make sure that if there's additional help. Obviously, we have resources that have been working around the clock, but we're going to double down. And our Seattle Department of Transportation wants to make sure that they do what, we have our part in that partnership. We also, the crews from the Parks Department and others are going to have our hand crews out there making sure that we can assist them. So they've made very clear that their property themselves they will take care of. They told us where they saw the priorities. They also have to discuss with their own transportation bus provider to make sure that they know the routes that are open and safe. As everyone in this room knows, we've gotten the key routes open for a period of time, and if we can find a way to get people safely to those routes, we think we can get people to school. So short answer is, we didn't make the decision, but we want to do everything the city can do as a partner with Seattle Public Schools to help all the people in the city now who want to see their kids back in school.
I'm going to follow up on that. So, and we're even hearing from parents in this room. Their kids are going crazy at home. They want their kids gone. Your message to parents who are have a little bit of cabin fever.
Look, every parent that has their kids home has cabin fever, and it's not just in Seattle. I've been fortunate. Much of my staff has come in, but they're bringing their kids with them. Yesterday, I think I had 3 kids in my office playing with toys. So we know it's tough, especially since they've been cooped up. The snow's old now, and we're done with it. So be patient, be smart. If you've got older kids at home and you live near the school, it'd be a great thing for them to do, to go out and help get their own school ready. We want to do our part to make sure that Seattle Public Schools can open tomorrow.
I
have a question for either Mayor Durkan or for Sam, maybe. Sam, you mentioned the effort now to work on some of the side streets, and Mayor Durkan, you said bobcats will be, put into play as well. And then yesterday you said you'll evaluate high priority residential streets. How is that determined, and can you talk a little bit more about the effort to now focus on side streets?
Sure. So we are.
Do you want to talk about how we did it for the schools at
Sure.
SPS's?
Yeah. So we've been the priority has continued to be making sure we move as many people and goods as possible and sort of get the city running again. So first we've looked at places where Metro Transit needs to provide. King County Metro needs to provide turnaround service if those end up on residential streets. We're also going out, as I mentioned, to those closed residential streets that might have steep slopes or other hazardous conditions, and trying to assess those. And then the 9 school locations that we've been provided, trying to make sure there's access from the arterial streets to those schools. Clearing residential streets is a bit of a challenge, and so both the equipment fitting down the streets, the risk and the challenge of plowing in cars and sort of making it even harder for some folks to get out, and just the risk of our own equipment getting stuck in some of the residential communities. So we're trying to assess places that are more impassable, and be able to help out as we can. We're not sort of going on neighborhood by neighborhood basis and trying to clear every street, because that would be a challenge.
Yeah. And one good thing we know from previous reporting that most of Seattle residents live within walking distance of transit, which is a really good thing during these snow events. So even if you're used to using your car, this is a time to walk to your local transit, whether that's light rail or bus, and really use those services. And those that aren't, I go back to the parents, exercise patience. We know people want their kids back in school. Again, we really want people to be safe. If the weather forecasters are correct and we get that hard freeze tonight, those streets and sidewalks that have not been cleared will turn to ice, and people should plan for that. So get them cleared now. I want to give one last shout out, and that is to the local National Weather Service. When I was growing up, the weather forecast could be 50-50. They have also been working around the clock and have been giving us the most up-to-date information they can give, and it has been so reliable. We have planned against it, we've been able to execute, but largely that's because they have been staying in complete contact with us. So I really want to thank the National Weather Service team here, many of them who had to travel distances to get to their work. And then one last thing, if you are out and home today, not only shovel, but walk to your local businesses, particularly your small businesses. It has been a really hard time for them. I've been in talking to some of those folks, and they've now opened up, and those days that they've missed is their livelihood. It's a livelihood for them and their employees. So think about that. If you're out, if you can walk to that local business, go up there. It's another way to break up the day. Thank you very much.